So a tool that they used to use to kick out Nazis, it could be used to strip citizenship from many more Americans. This is really disturbing. I had been reading it, and I don't know if even some of the black people who had voted for Trump understand what's going on. But they're trying to kick out anybody of color and anybody who disagrees with their agenda. And so even if you're not a person of color, if you disagree with Trump and his agenda, they're just trying to get rid of everyone. And I feel like they're targeting black populations, they're targeting Hispanic populations, anyone that isn't in line with the agenda of white supremacy. Now, I'm saying this before I go and read this article, because I know I have this thing where I read articles and kind of point out a few things of whatever's in the article, but these are things that really are happening. I don't understand why people would have picked somebody like this, but maybe they had malicious intent themselves, or they're racist, or they had maybe specific agendas themselves, or maybe they thought that Trump was for blacks. I don't see how you could think that when he's told you all along that, it's not what he's saying, is how he's performing and what he's doing that shows that he's not for any of us. Now, recently I did a video, and it was on these people who claim to be foundational black Americans. I guess that would be me too, but the thing is that I don't agree with the people that you guys listen to, because a lot of you voted, some of you voted for this man, and this is what we're getting. And he's targeting a lot of us. So I'm just coming to you on a level where, I see people saying that foundational black Americans, or black people in general, are being discriminated. But I don't know if those people are really genuine, because some of you voted for this man, and he's attacking these communities like no other. I have an app. It's called Your Morningside Neighbors. I think it's called Your Morningside Neighbors. And it's for this community. And I would suggest people that are in your communities, if you have community apps where you can see what kinds of activity is going on. I know they've been using it to alert people of the whereabouts of these people who call themselves ICE agents. Now, I want to tell you something that is real alarming. Some of these people are not ICE agents. And if you look at them, they're wearing these masks so you can't see their faces. They won't reveal themselves. And what I've discovered is that some of those people, they claim they put them on planes and took them somewhere. You don't hear about them never again. I would believe that these people are being murdered, or they being left for dead, or they're stranding them in different desolate places, even dumping them in the ocean. Be careful out there. Because that video that I did before this one was to alert you, not to upset people and make them go against other black folks, thinking that this is some kind of competition. No, I'm alerting you that if you don't watch yourself, think about it. They tried to target the Brooklyn Haitian community, and those people fought back. And I don't mean to incite violence, because I'm not trying to do that. But I believe for our lives and for our livelihood, we might have to fight back if we're confronted with these situations. Because what I'm hearing is not all those people are actual ICE agents. Some of them are white supremacist groups. And we had 4 black men that had recently been lynched. They didn't give them any press coverage. Not enough. And 1 Hispanic man was lynched, and it was all by trees. What black person is going to take a noose and commit suicide and hang himself from a tree? You don't really find that. Now, we might do drugs, OD, get in a car wreck, shoot ourselves in a self-inflicted wound, but hanging yourself with a noose? I just don't see that. And in the climate that we're living in right now, with these people going around talking about their ICE agents, I wouldn't put it past if we had some people that are now the new KKK, and I said it, the new KKK, going around with these masks on, claiming to be ICE agents, snatching folks up because they feel they can now. They're emboldened. Taking these people, kidnapping them, hauling them off somewhere, and murdering them, and who knows what. I'm telling you this stuff because you need this as a warning. Any one of us black, even the foundational, what you call yourself, any one of us we could look like we Haitian. You know how they look at black people. They look at one of us and they just paint that broad brush. Oh, they look Haitian. They look Jamaican. They look like they not from here. I wouldn't even, I go so far to say is they don't even care where you're from. Just as long as if you ain't the right paint job, if you know what I'm saying, if you're not one of them, that's what they think. They're just ready to scoop you up and do away with you. Be careful out there. I feel that something bad is coming because this right here, this article is one of many articles. And that lawyer guy from the Defiant Network, he's trying to warn people about the seriousness of the legality of all of these things that this so-called president is doing. He's doing a lot of illegal stuff and getting away with it. Be careful. The ones you should be mad at are the ones that some of these people ignorantly voted for. And the ones you should be watching out for are the ones that walk around in these masks calling themselves ICE agents. Not all of them are ICE agents. They're not giving them due process. They don't get food and water. And then I saw that there's a place over at a border somewhere where all these Haitian people are just left in tent cities and they don't have enough food and water. They want to see those people die. They're trying to kill us, and that big what they call beautiful bill, it ain't beautiful. It's ugly. A lot of cuts to the SNAP program and Medicaid. And if you want to stay on Medicaid, I'm hearing what it said. You got to work 80 hours and you got to show up every 6 months showing that you work. They want you to work yourself to death. So supposing you have a health or disability problem, I don't know how that's going to work out. But what I'm telling you right now, be careful. That's the problems that we have in the black community, that people sometimes of your own persuasion don't listen. And they put us in a worse situation than we were before. For one, voting for this person was doing us a disservice. No person of color should have voted for this man. And I'm saying that. So the law used to kick out Nazis could be used to strip citizenship from many more Americans. So people who are coming from other places and they got sworn into the country, I feel for them too, because He's talking about trying to strip them away from, here you are, you done did all of what you had to do. And he's talking about taking their citizenship away just like that. At the stroke of a pen. For decades, the U.S. Department of Justice has used a tool to sniff out former Nazis who lied their way into becoming American citizens. So a law that allowed the department to denaturalize or strip citizenship from criminals who falsified their records or hid their illicit past. That power under this new Trump administration may be broadening. According to a memo issued by the Justice Department last month, attorneys should aim their denaturalization work to target a much broader swath of individuals, anyone who may pose a potential danger to national security. So supposing you're out there protesting and they call you a threat. That could be one of you guys out there protesting. You have your citizenship. Maybe you got it through, your going through the process, or maybe you was born here, but now they say you're a threat because you're out there protesting, and maybe you get in the face of one of those riot cops or something like that. What I also heard in that big beautiful bill is that they're supposed to give a bump up to those border agents and also militarized police. They're making extra efforts to bring back that stop and frisk. So according to the memo issued by Department of Justice last month, attorneys should aim their denaturalization work to target a much broader swath of individuals, anyone who poses a potential danger to national security. So the directive appears to be a push towards a larger denaturalization effort that fits with this Trump administration hardline immigration policy. So these could leave some of the millions of naturalized American citizens at risk of losing their status and being deported as well. So people who have committed violent crimes or members of associations of gangs and drug cartels have committed fraud should be prioritized. This is what the memo has issued by the head of the DOJ Civil Division. So they always start off by talking about how they're going to target criminals. But lately what we've seen them do is they target families, old people, kids. How are they in this? Here, this is what his talking point was. And people thought, okay, he's going to go after the people who have like checkered past or whatever. Okay, we get it. But he's going after people who they're not even criminals. It looked like they're going after anybody. As long as if you are black or you Hispanic or you from some other place that, that maybe they don't recognize or they fit you in the group, you could get caught up in these ICE raids. That's what we were saying. It doesn't matter about you being, if an ICE agent, you are with 10 of your friends and they happen to get caught up and you at a club or something, or you hanging out, or you having a good time, minding your own business, and the ICE agents decide to swoop up and take some folks. Some people, unbeknownst to what you think, they might snatch you up. No matter whether you say you black or you black American or you a foundational black American, that's what we was trying to say. So getting the attitude and getting all mad and saying all these dirty things at other black people that's trying to warn you, that's not helping you either. So you got to think before you speak. And think about the people you saying these things to. Because the people that you should be directing your frustration towards are the ones that's trying to kick you out of here. Are they trying to figure out how to try to kick you out of here? So people who have committed the violent crimes, or they part of some kind of drug cartels or gangs or whatever, they say that prioritizing the issue with these people. But for many officials, the experts, the real concern is that they say that is designed to strike fear in the hearts of legal immigrants across the country, particularly those who are at odds with Trump himself. So this is basically what I'm saying. Let's say you're not a criminal. You haven't really committed any crimes. You don't have no things that you did in your past that they need to be worried about that's on the radar. You're a working citizen. You've been here. Either you were born here or you came here and you got naturalized. But because you disagree or don't align with these Trump agendas, now they want to target you, call you a threat. So that's basically what we mean. So the politicization of citizenship rights is something that really worries me. That's what they say. I think it's just flatly inconsistent with the democratic systems. This is Cassandra Burt Robertson, a law professor at Case Western Reserve University, that she told the CNN. So reshaping immigration, the status or statute in question is part of a McCarthy era law first established to root out communists during the Red Scare. So I think Trump has an issue with anybody that is in line with communists or socialism, things like that. And this is like a repeat of history when you look at all of these things that are happening. But it's most common over use over the years that has been against war criminals. So in 1979, the Justice Department established a unit that used the statute to deport hundreds of people who associated themselves with the Nazis. This was back then, but Eli Rosenbaum, the man who led it for years, helped the department strip citizenship from or deport 100 people and earn a reputation as the DOJ's most prolific Nazi hunter. Okay? But only these ain't Nazis that they hunting in this day. They hunting people of color. So Rosenbaum briefly returned in 2022 to lead an effort to identify and prosecute anyone who committed war crimes in Ukraine. But the department has broadened those efforts by Nazis several times, including the Obama-era initiative, Operation Janus, targeting those who stole identities to earn citizenship. So in 2020, Trump attempted to expand denaturalization efforts by creating a dedicated office at the Justice Department, but it was quietly disbanded by the Biden administration the following year. Okay? So one former DOJ official called the office a branding opportunity, noting that it was not particularly effective and did not fit the Trump successor priorities. So since returning to the White House, Trump has worked to redesign how the federal government enforces immigration in the country, pushing agencies like the FBI, the U.S. Marshals to join deportation efforts, and targeting foreign student visas for people abroad hoping to attend a private university in states. So instead of reinstating the standalone office from his first administration, the entire civil division is now being told to prioritize denaturalization in all cases permitted by law, according to the memo, which also suggests that the U.S. attorney's offices across the country could flag cases where they may be able to initiate denaturalization proceedings. So Trump fled 102 he filed 102 denaturalization cases during his first administration, and contrasted with the 24 cases filed under the Biden DOJ. Spokesperson Chad Gilmartin said on social media Wednesday. So far, the second Trump administration has filed 5 cases in its first 5 months. Political consequences. The DOJ told CNN in a statement denaturalization proceedings will only be pursued as permitted by law and supported by evidence against individuals who illegally procured or misrepresented facts in naturalization process. But the current former DOJ officials who spoke to CNN said that beyond instructing lawyers to file as many denaturalization cases as possible, and the memo is so broad that it could allow the Justice Department to invoke vague or unsubstantiated claims to expel people from the country. So this is what they're talking about. So innocent people who went through the process of getting their citizenship naturalized or sealed, getting citizenship, could end up being in threat of losing their status here with this man in office. So Robertson of Case Western warned that the memo could give away the Trump administration retroactively searching for missteps in naturalization processes of perceived political opponents like student activists. So I don't know if you saw that student, the guy that he's a Palestinian and he was for Palestine, and I think he's a student, and they said all these mean things about him and about how they wanted to get rid of him, and then they had to bring him back, and so it's things like that. So Irina Monta, a law professor at Hofstra University, said that the administration's move could have a chilling effect on free speech as well, both political and otherwise. So I regularly observe the fear firsthand, she said. So Trump has publicly flirted the notion of deporting American citizens that he doesn't want in the country. Let me read that again. Especially for the people who claim that they can't be deported, or they think in their minds they can't be deported, and if you say anything about them, they ready to pounce on you because you telling them, you warning them that this administration is looking to purge anyone, even the ones that was born here, who say that they have a right here. There's a lot of people that say they have a right here, but this administration is so toxic that they're trying to purge anybody. And that includes black people that was born here. I was born here. All of us are in danger. That's basically what we were trying to say. And we might have to fight. We might have to be a little more proactive. Stop the division. Stop fighting people who's trying to warn you. So it says, though the seriousness of the statements is highly unclear, he has called for everything from deporting bad people, many of them who were born in our country, to saying the administration should take a look at removing Elon Musk after his erstwhile ally criticized the president and his spending bill. That big beautiful bill that we just saw pass, which it ain't really beautiful. It ain't gonna be beautiful when it start coming into effect. There's already hospitals getting prepared to close down. A lot of people are gonna die behind that. At least one ally has taken more formal steps. Okay, so last week in August, a Republican congressman asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate whether New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani, who was born in Uganda and naturalized in 2018, should be subject to denaturalization proceedings because he publicly glorifies people connected to Hamas in a rap song. Do that make sense? Did you just hear what I just said? Because he likes a rap song and because he's glorifying the people of I don't even want to, that's just crazy. Anyway, Bondi has not publicly responded to the letter. For more CNN newsletter, create an account. So that's the end of the article. Basically what I'm saying is that anybody is in danger. Anybody's in danger with this man in office, what he's doing. So for anybody to not see what's going on, I just don't know. I don't know what can convince a person unless they actually see somebody snatching them up and doing something to them, or doing something to somebody you are close to that you know that is just like you, that was born here, and you experience it hand on, for yourself, and I think we might have to fight, especially if the people aren't really ICE agents, because you don't know where these people are taking you. You don't know if they're taking you somewhere to kill you. Are you going to be the next body hanging from a tree? That's all we saying. Watch yourself. Watch who you're in the company of and what their mindset is. You don't know what people are thinking nowadays. This is so toxic, it's so violent, and I think crime is going to go up, because when you start stripping away all the little programs that people use so they can just get on with life and be able to survive, crime is going to go up. You bet your bottom dollar, crime is going to go up. But anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. You might have heard like fireworks in the background. I think it's some people that shooting off fireworks, and it's a few little gatherings going on. But just be safe out there. I'm getting alerts that ICE is in neighborhoods. They just combing neighborhoods, just looking for folks. So you got to be careful where you go, who you hanging out with, and what space you hanging out, where your location is. And if you see people with masks and they acting like they want to snatch you up, you might have to be just like them Haitian people. You might have to lay some hands to protect yourself, because you don't know who these people are. You don't know who they are, if they're really ICE agents or not. They're not disclosing what's going on. Some of these people, I don't believe all of them are ICE agents. So that's what we're saying. You need to be careful out there.